In a poll just as the basketball season was starting, I asked you guys who you thought was going to be the NBA champion this year. In this video, I'm going to share the poll results as well as share my own thoughts on who is going to be the NBA champion. No doubt about it. Let's get into this. All right, so on the poll, I could only list, five categories. So I listed 4 teams that, I thought were some of the top choices, and then I listed an other. So 36% of respondents said the Golden State Warriors were going to win the championship. 14% said the Milwaukee Bucks. 6% said the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, keep in mind, this was just as the season was starting, so the whole Philly shenanigans wasn't happening yet. 8% said the LA Clippers, and 37% said other. And from that 37% who said other, a number of people did go into the comments and list the Celtics. In retrospect, I do wish I had put the Celtics on this list because I kind of am curious, out of that 37%, how many were the Celtics? Because I have a feeling of that 37%, most of it, is probably the Celtics. Maybe 20%, let's say 25% of the people responding probably would have said the Celtics. So I think it's no question. I've been saying this is going to be my 4th year in a row making this prediction that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be the champion. I predicted it the year before they won, the year they won, and the year after they won, and now I'm predicting it again. I just think Giannis is the most dominant player in the NBA. I don't have his rookie card. I don't have any of his high-end cards. I'm constantly looking. I just wish I had got into his cards before they became as high as they are, because I just think he's amazing. I mean, he's not my favorite player overall necessarily, but I just think he is the best player of this generation. I think he's just so phenomenal, and his work ethic, the way he improves from year to year, and the way he tries to develop skills that are exactly what his team needs and what he needs to become the best player possible is just amazing. And then you balance his excellence with Drew Holiday. I feel is one of the most underrated NBA players of I don't know how long. He is amazing. I mean, he's so consistent. He's so good at defense. He's so good at all the different elements of offense. He's just like this solid foundational piece that I just think is a phenomenal addition to any kind of championship run team. And then Chris Middleton is kind of similar. I actually personally think Drew Holiday is the second best player on the team. A lot of people give that to Chris Middleton, and he's excellent. Also very much a glue guy. He can take over for scoring on any given night, but he also can play defense well, and he can just be part of a system really well. And I think that's one of the things that works for this team is they don't have the egos who feel that they are outside, they can work better outside of the system of the offense. That team has a bunch of people who got their heads on straight, who know how to work together and who know how to bring out the best in each other. And that's the root that's what a championship contender can do. You could have a team full of excellent players, but if it's full of ego, and if it's full of people who don't know how to work together as a cohesive unit, that team is not going to be very successful. And we've seen that again and again. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets, of course, are the most obvious team you can look at this year, where, on paper, the players just look amazing, but they're a bunch of individuals out there. There's not a cohesive team. They don't know how to work together. They don't know how to bring out the best in each other. They just are like 5 people side by side trying to do something. Whereas the Milwaukee Bucks, they know what they're doing. They know where to go. They know how to support each other. That's one of the reasons I think they're going to win the championship. That's also, my favorite team is the Portland Trailblazers. And one of the reasons they're doing so well this year is they've learned that element. They've learned, like, if you watch them on defense and how they kind of rotate to cover the man and how they work as a cohesive unit, it's so much better than anything I've ever seen out of the Blazers defense in such a long time. And it's amazing. And it's because there's a bunch of people on that team. Now, any one-on-one defender is average. Maybe somebody like Jeremy Grant is slightly above average on defense, but nobody is an exceptional defender. But they're able to work as this cohesive unit that makes them able to function as way better than a bunch of individuals out there. They can draw on each other's strengths and bring out each other's strengths based on the way they're working within the system, which is why they're doing so well. I mean, if they can keep doing well, I think the Blazers will be better this year than anybody, including me, expected of them. But it's because something has happened where they're learning how to work as a cohesive unit, and the Bucks have that, but they have the championship level talent too. So that's why I think the Bucks are kind of unstoppable. I keep thinking they're going to win And Giannis is a big reason, of course, but I just think they're such a good team. Now, most people voted for the Golden State Warriors. I don't see that. I didn't see it last year either, and there they went and won it. And of course, I love Steph Curry. I mean, how can you not? He's amazing, and just as a dude, it just seems like an awesome guy. One of the players, Giannis and Steph, actually, those are two of the players that if I could just like hang out with and like be friends with, those are two people I'd be like, yep, I just want to hang out with you and like chat over a cup of coffee or whatever. Those two people just seem like just great people. And I like the Warriors. The Warriors have a nice mix of young talent, of these veterans who really know how to win a championship. I just don't see it happening again this year. I don't think they're in the dynasty mindset anymore. And part of that is I'm cheating now that I've seen the first couple of weeks of the season, but I was saying this even before the season began. I hope they're prioritizing bringing up some of the young guys, but I just don't see how they could do it again. I mean, Steph is amazing. He's a superhero, but I don't think he can drag it all along. Klay Thompson is not quite what he used to be. Jordan Poole, I think, is way overrated. Draymond Green, he's getting older, and that's affecting things. Jonathan Kuminga, I think, has been overrated the whole time through. Wiggins is a good, solid, foundational piece. I think he's a good addition to things. But I just don't think they have it in them to win the championship again this year. I don't think they would have last year, even if the Bucks hadn't had some injury problems. I think they would have taken down the Celtics, and they would have taken down the Warriors last year as well. I'm not like actually even that big of a Bucks fan. I should just say it's not like I'm a fanboy of the Bucks. It's just I think they're so good, and the way that they're constructed is so good. So that's why I keep coming back to them. I just think there's no way they're not going to win. Guarantee. Now, the Celtics, a lot of people were saying the Celtics, and I could see why. They did make it to the championship last year, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are possibly the very best wing duo in the NBA. I mean, I mentioned in another video, maybe the only other possibility would be like the Kawhi PG wing duo, but they're like barely ever on the court together. So really, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are phenomenal. I do think Jason Tatum is a little bit overrated, and I do think Jaylen Brown is quite a bit underrated. I think they're closer to like equals rather than like having I think they're more like a 1A, 1B than a 1 and a 2 in my mind. I am a huge Jaylen Brown fan. And they do have a really nice, I mean, the way that, other players who are kind of unsung heroes, like Derek White is excellent. Malcolm Brogdon, once they get the Time Lord back, he's excellent. I mean, I do see why people have more faith in them as a possibility. And they do seem to be able to, they're working as a cohesive unit through the turbulent times, which says something about the nature of their ability to work together. So I do see them being the biggest challenge to the Bucks, but I just think there's no way they can take down the Bucks unless it's injury. Injury can take down people, but otherwise I think the Bucks could just slaughter the Celtics. Sorry, Celtics fans. I know some of you guys are Celtics fans here. I am too. I like them, but I just think they're not there. I think they might make it to the Eastern Conference Championship, but I think that's their ceiling this year is my feeling. So anyway, if you have any thoughts, this was not sometimes I like just having some basketball related videos, not only basketball cards and sports cards, because I just love basketball. So I figure, it's my YouTube channel, I'm going to have some basketball stuff here and there. I've come to realize, a lot of people who watch my channel are either into ComC stuff. A lot of people from my channel got connected, have subscribed to my channel through ComC. So I try to make ComC videos as often as possible, but it does seem like there's a lot more basketball related people who are watching my channel compared to some other sports card channels out there. And of course, that's because I talk about basketball more often than any other sport. So I'm going to keep having these videos every once in a while that talk about basketball. I enjoy doing them, and I think there's enough of you guys who really enjoy basketball outside of just the sports card world of basketball that I'm going to have some basketball videos here and there because I find them super fun. So anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.